Hello Giants fans, welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. The Giants beat the Brewers today 15-1. It was topped off by home runs from Mitch Haniger, Brett Wisely, and J.D. Davis, who, by the way, had an incredible day at the plate. Alex Wood, too, was pretty effective on the mound, pitching 5 1/3 scoreless innings. So it's a 15-1 game over the Brewers. The Giants just blew this one open. They're on track to win their fourth series in a row, which is just great. And today was a very important step for the Giants as they took the lead in their win-loss record. Now they're 26 wins, 25 losses. So just what an important step for the Giants. Now they seem to be figuring out their season at this point. And there is a very realistic path into the postseason for the Giants. There is. And I'm really just talking down the naysayers here big time. Just with all of the disappointment we've had in the Giants, both last year and in the offseason, the fact that they weren't able to add anyone on. I mean, just with all the disappointment, the fact they couldn't sign free agents and all that, couldn't seem to get anything going. I think we just need to look at the positives here. The Giants have a very realistic path to a championship this year. And that's a very bold statement, I know. It's likely that nobody really expects. And I've mentioned before, I'm not sure that a lot of Giants fans really expect that this is going to be the year for them. But I'm coming out here to say there is a very realistic path to and through the postseason for the Giants this year. Here's how it works. Well, the first thing I got to point out is that the key for the Giants is going to be the pitching. I mean, they have the power. Today was just 15 runs and another 3 home run day. It's clear we've seen that already, and it was something we saw. I mean, even when the Giants were kind of in their bit of downtime they were having, that it's clear they have the home run power, and that's saying a lot. Their bats are always going to be up there to support the team. That is there, and I think the key is going to be the Giants' pitching, which I will say has not been totally bad this year, but really just because of inconsistency. And sometimes I think it's just timing too. Maybe inconsistency with pitching, and then you've kind of got bad timing on the offense, which it could be that just the pitchers that they're facing and how the competition matches up, it's going to play into the effect on even a good team's timing with how they're able to play their game. But this is a point to make. It's going to be a pretty big thing going forward. And I'm really saying what I said like at the beginning of August of last year when we were just hoping for one last playoff run for the Giants. Back then I said the pitching's going to make or break it for the Giants, and well, okay, it broke it. I think I was just right. I said it's about the pitching, and it wasn't good enough. And so like I predicted, they didn't make the postseason in 2022. There's no... It wasn't that they had bad luck or anything. It was that they were a bad team in 2022. They weren't good enough. And they got the result that you should expect of a team that's the level the Giants were last year. Not good and not able to produce in the situations when it mattered most. That was the Giants team last year, and particularly the last couple of months. I said... And even in mid-August, I said, I'll admit to saying that the Giants had a postseason spot if they were going to produce and perform the way they... And if they were going to have timely, good pitching and also hitting, including but not limited to clutch situations. And they didn't do it. That's what played out there. I'm just saying the same thing again now. I feel like a postseason spot, it's within their reach. If they can, if the guys that we have to reasonably be able to expect to be good, if they're going to actually be good and all that, then it's something the Giants can do this year. And if they win between 80 and 90 games, as long as they come out on the higher end of it, they can sneak into the postseason. It goes without saying that that's going to be a pretty tough time for them, and particularly, yes, of course, they have to get past the Dodgers, and, well, I mean, likely the Padres, too. I as I understand it, there are 3 wild card spots after the division winners, so we're really looking after what we'd see from the Dodgers, who are going to take the division. I don't. This is probably not relevant too much to the point, but I don't expect there to be a significant successful effort by the Padres to really toggle competition with the Dodgers in any real way. I know it happened in the division series last year, but even so, I'm convinced the Dodgers are going to come out number 1 in the National League West. So the Padres, yes, they're in the Giants division, but it's probably not the point so much as the fact that they will be another wild card team, most likely, that the Giants have to contend with. So let's say the Giants, and I know it's going to be some work to even get into the postseason. They took a very important step today in putting themselves ahead in the win-loss record. I think that was, and we're just seeing them kill it right now. And if you didn't believe in the Giants before, maybe hopefully that's changing at least somewhat now. And if they continue to play like this, of course we expect it to normalize a bit, but still, these past couple of weeks, in terms of actually making the postseason, who wouldn't be feeling better about that? I mean, I'm just taking it from an essential standpoint of what we can see right now. Who wouldn't feel better about the Giants' chances of making the postseason? But they get there. How do they get through the postseason? It's going to be pretty tough, and the Dodgers too. I know that's going to be a really tough one. Well, this is where we got to touch on the issue of the Giants' pitching. Is it all the way bad? No, it's just inconsistent. And some guys, I think, are performing really well for the Giants. You remember that the unconventional way the Giants deploy their pitchers, it's not really the same starting rotation. Roles are fluid, and this includes, a fluidity between the starting rotation and the bullpen, as well as obviously roles within each. And I mean, they're using multi-inning pitching, and I mean, even today it was Tristan Beck coming in, going 3 1/3 innings after he relieved Alex Wood. But the Giants are really playing that way. They're trying to optimize their matchups, and whatever particular day, they're just trying to go with the best strategy. Who's the best guy to have on the mound? Or is it best to just plan to use everybody in shorter stints with maybe a couple guys being planned to go 2 or 3 innings? I think the Giants just plan for that every particular day. That's their strategy. And they really are, I think they really are making it work, although there's still, it hasn't been as good and as consistent as maybe we would have liked this year. But just think about the postseason for a minute and all the off days. There are extra off days there. There's virtually no team that uses a 5-man rotation unless they either want to give their ace starter a rest, or they, for some reason, they think that's the best thing to do. But in the postseason, that's the first thing you realize, that teams use a 4-man rotation. For the Giants, you just think about how the talent level is distributed, and how we'd much rather have Logan Webb starting than maybe Sean Manaea. I'm just saying that they can probably gain a lot from getting to be a little bit more selective about who's pitching. I think this could definitely apply in the bullpen as well. They can, now they have time to experiment, I guess, but in the postseason they can be a little bit more selective about that. That's going to give them just a lot of flexibility, and I think just it's really going to close the gap between the best, who the best guy is to be pitching and who's really doing it. And they're going to be better equipped to make decisions based on. I mean, it's not like pitchers really need as much rest. Everybody knows that they got to work a harder schedule in the postseason. They're off days, yeah, but even so, they're. I mean, that's the time when any team would decide to really burn their guys. So how does this apply to the Giants? I mean, obviously every team's going to use every way they can to maximize any potential on their roster and just have the very best guys playing. Every team's going to maximize their chances. It's not like anyone's a fool and hasn't caught on to this yet. But the Giants, how does this particularly apply to them? Well, it's just the way I see it. I think the talent level distribution with their pitching, where some guys we trust and some they don't. I think the Giants can really shift. In the postseason, they really have the opportunity to shift their reliance on the guys they consider to be the stars of the team. I'm just speaking from the perspective of the way things seem to be with the Giants, and they can shift their reliance to guys like Logan Webb and Anthony DeSclafani and Alex Cobb, and maybe in the bullpen. They're going to be able to get some 2-inning saves out of Camilo Doval, I would think, in the postseason if they make it there. That's why they might be able to actually beat what their record might indicate in the regular season. I'm saying getting to the postseason might be a matter of sneaking in. Getting through it can still be done. So I don't know what image you have of the San Francisco Giants right now, but I'm just here telling you that it should probably look more positive than you might think if you really think about the details, and I think that there's a very realistic path to a championship for them this year. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please leave your questions and comments. You know where to do it. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.